Let's go straight to Los Angeles, where police are explaining why they raided Justin Bieber's California mansion.
There was another arrest for felony narcotics violation unrelated to this investigation. That was not Mr. Bieber. If there's any questions, I can take them at this time.
Is Mr. Bieber still under investigation, or is he completely clear from any involvement in this incident?
We collected evidence regarding this investigation that we will analyze. We haven't had a chance to analyze it yet. And at some point, we either will take it to the district attorney or we will be exonerated. The investigation is ongoing.
At this time, though, just to clarify, he has not been exonerated from this incident yet.
He has not been arrested, nor has he been exonerated.
Lieutenant, can you tell us about the substance of that case? Was it in fact eggs, or were there other things involved?
There were a couple other things involved, but it was a vandalism case. It involved eggs, but the amount of damage brought it into the felony section, which is why we did a search warrant.
Can you help explain how eggs could bring it into the felony section?
If the felony section is regarding the damage that was done, and this was regarding the damage done to the house, and there was that amount of damage done to the resident.
You were looking for surveillance video today?
That was one of the many things we were looking for, correct.
Okay, everybody cooperated in the house with your deputies arrived this morning.
Yes.
Describe the scene what it was like this morning when you served the warrant.
Mr. Bieber has security that we contacted. Mr. Bieber was in the residence with some other various friends that apparently had spent the night, and everybody, including security, was cooperative.
How many eggs did he throw? Are we talking about a full dozen or like 6?
Somebody did get arrested unrelated to the investigation of why we were there. It was a narcotics violation.
Could you tell us who was arrested?
Correct.
Who was that?
What kind of narcotics?
I believe it was cocaine, and I don't have his name. He was an adult. But he was an adult, but he's being processed, and so until that's finished, I won't.
Is Mr. Bieber connected to that cocaine at all?
He was not connected to that cocaine other than the gentleman was staying at his residence.
Why does a vandalism incident rate rise to this level of concern, even though there is a threshold for felony?
The felony comes from the dollar amount of the damage.
Right.
And this residence sustained a great amount of damage that easily achieved the felony vandalism section.
Right, that's not my question. My question is, why does a vandalism case receive this level of attention from a lieutenant in charge of the Detective Bureau of the Sheriff's Department?
Well, it's a felony crime. I get that it was done with eggs, which makes you feel that it's a lower level crime, but a felony crime is a felony crime no matter how you commit it. And this crime rose to the felony section, and a judge signed a search warrant saying that we should go and get evidence related to the felony crime.
Is the damage just from eggs or anything else?
The damage, I believe, was from the eggs and the damage that the eggs caused to the residents.
Is Justin Bieber been exonerated, or is he still under investigation for what happened?
The investigation is ongoing. Again, he was not arrested nor exonerated at this time.
Lieutenant, what kind of...
For the next door neighbor. Why was this felony searched? Why was the felony searched?
The cocaine, I believe, was in plain view of the deputies when they were looking for the other evidence.
Sir, can I ask you, Mr. Bieber, you said was questioned. Can you give us some, not the details of the questioning, but how long did it take? Was he questioned by one officer? Was he with other people? Was he alone during the questioning?
I don't believe Mr. Bieber answered any questions at the time we were there. I believe he'll probably do that through his attorney. So I don't have any information related to his question.
So as far as you're aware, he was not questioned there?
As far as I'm aware, he was not questioned other than during the search warrant, the normal questions that we would ask a resident.
Like what?
How many people may be in the house, or what doors are locked, or such stuff of that nature.
Lieutenant, what kind of evidence is listed in the search warrant affidavit that can help with an investigation that involves taking?
Well, I mean, you could be looking for any number of things at that time, so I'm not going to release what exactly we were looking for, but obviously it doesn't take much of a stretch of imagination, though, that security video in these times help us with a lot of things.
How many officers, how many patrol cars responded, and why did it seem like so many were needed?
I believe there was probably almost a dozen detectives that were there, and the cars probably numbered about 8 to carry that many up there. And in these types of situations, we don't know what we're going to confront. Mr. Bieber, of course, is cooperative in most cases. However, we don't know who's staying at the house, and we don't know who may be under the influence of anything. And so it's always better to err on the side of safety, and I went along as well, just to be one of the numbers. And again, we did contact 7 or 8 people in the house, so I was thankful that we had 12.
Did you videotape the house, the exterior of the house?
We do. We videotape our entry and our exit from the house and anything inside, as well as the house itself.
Was the house in question next door to his? Where's the house?
Yeah, it's a next door neighbor, yes.
Has there been a history of friction between Justin and the neighbor?
That I really don't know at this time.
Where exactly was the damage to the house, and what's the estimated amount?
I'd have to get the exact amount. I know it was in the thousands of dollars, and we only need 400. The damage was to the exterior, the front exterior, pretty much the entire front exterior.
So Steve made fun of me when I tried to answer this question earlier, but I've never dealt with this kind of a case before. I believe that.
I have.
Can you match eggs found in a refrigerator, for example, eggs in the handle?
I would assume that that's probably possible. That's really not our focus at this time. I think most all of us here probably have eggs in our refrigerator, and we're not going to do that. We were looking for other things that would put him or anybody else at the scene. He didn't give us a statement or talk to us regarding this at this time.
At any time were attorneys for Mr. Bieber present in the house at all? Was there counsel there at any time during this investigation or search?
There was not any counsel there, just members of his security detail. And I'm not sure about the visa question. That would be for the State Department. That I'm not aware of. That's what some of the evidence we collected is what we're hoping to tell us. It was pretty much, I think, paint, and there was some, the houses in that neighborhood are of a quality that any damage is going to be expensive. So they had some imported wood and brick that was significantly damaged.
Did you say if the house has surveillance video that you obtained?
I'd have to talk to the lead detective on that. I'm not sure if we've obtained that or if, in fact, it would show the incident, but it's quite possible.
We're all making it.
I believe it was like 7:30 in the evening.
Sir, we're all, of course, making it with a fun because it's eggs and everything. How serious do you and the Sheriff's Department take this incident?
Well, the Sheriff's Department hopes to enhance the quality of life of all our residents. And so I get that the eggs don't seem that significant, but it does rise to the level of a felony. There is a victim in this case who had extensive damage done to their home, and that's a serious incident. You would not like your quality of life, nor anybody would, to be kind of putting up people such as that. So there's extensive amount of damage, and I, as well as the Sheriff's Department, take that very seriously.
Okay, can you elaborate then, Lieutenant? Because there have been reports that neighbors have had a lot of run-ins with him, not just this neighbor, but others. So if you are concerned about the welfare of everyone, what can you tell the neighbors to say, this isn't going to continue, continuous run-ins?
Well, I certainly hope it doesn't continue. We didn't do this search warrant to send a message. That's not what we do. But we hope maybe understanding the gravity of this will change some of the behavior. We have, I've met most of you from previous run-ins that have occurred at the residence with him or someone else. And so we hope that we can give the neighborhood the quality of life that they deserve. And maybe this will do it.
It's one of the reports take away the security surveillance system.
Pardon?
Did they dismantle and take away the surveillance?
Now, we did take a tech crew with us, and that we'll have to discuss with them. I know they were viewing it. They may have just viewed it. I can't release any of the evidence that we collected this time because honestly, I don't know right now what all we took. I came back a little early.
Accurate that Bieber called the report and claimed that his house was
Bieber. Can they stop calling him the Bieber?
I don't have that information. It is possible, but I don't have that information.
Lieutenant, how would you respond to those that say this level of response by the Sheriff's Department is due to the celebrity of Mr. Bieber?
And none of this has anything to do with him being a celebrity. This is a felony crime that we investigated and determined was a felony crime that had evidence. A judge signed a felony search warrant, And this could be Mr. Bieber, this could be you, this could be me, this could be anybody. We would do this same level of crime to anyone that committed this crime.
Okay, guys.
arrested for narcotics. How much was it?
You know, I don't have that information. That's being processed. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, so the LA County Sheriff explaining why they raided this mansion, the home of Justin Bieber in Calabasas today, and they had a felony search warrant. So far, Bieber has not been arrested, nor has he been exonerated, according to the LA County Sheriff's Department. The investigation is ongoing. This all stems from an egging incident of a neighbor's home, and apparently, as I bring in Morella Fernandez to discuss this, if the damage goes over $400, it goes to a felony case and a felony charge, and apparently there was at least $20,000 damage done to this home.
Yeah, there are estimates that that's how much it will cost to fix up this home, the neighbor's home, because obviously the materials used in this neighborhood are higher end materials, imported materials, and that's why it's running to such a cost. And we're kind of laughing, oh, it's an egging of somebody's home. But the police are taking this quite seriously. For them to go in with a dozen detectives, 8 cruisers to search the home is, you know, I'm sure they've got other things to do with their time. So they're taking this pretty seriously.
They sure are. Although it's hard to take seriously because I've never heard a reporter say how many eggs were thrown during a news conference.
And I've never heard a reporter say, well, can you match the eggs in his home to the eggs that were found outside? So, yes, over $400 means they've moved it to a felony. They said this is well over $400. And what they were looking for is that surveillance video. Maybe the episode was caught on tape. It happened last Thursday evening, and it looks like the neighbor and maybe the neighbor's daughter was on the balcony at the time that this happened. We're hearing that as well. So this could end up being quite serious for him in the terms of a fine or jail time if he is found to be guilty of this crime.
Or if there is something else in that home. And they did say that they found cocaine, but that was linked to someone who was staying at the
That's
home
right. They said there was
Justin
no
Bieber.
link between the cocaine and Justin Bieber, but this person staying there apparently had some cocaine in plain view, police said, which is why they picked this person up and arrested him. And Justin Bieber has not answered any questions. They said he's been cooperating with police, but not overly cooperative in the sense he hasn't answered any questions. He'll probably do that through his attorney. So remember, he's been in a lot of trouble over the last couple of years, little things here and there. Let's pull up her board. I'll tell you what we're talking about. Remember, he's pulled over for reckless driving. That
Couple
was
of years,
just last year, sort of
6
middle
months?
of the year. Sorry, 2012. 2013, he moved vans. 2013, earlier in the year, he attacked a photographer inside of a London hotel. He abandoned his monkey. Remember that in Germany? I abandoned the monkey. And decided at one point he wanted it back. He couldn't get. And then he spat on his neighbor. He was accused of that in 2013 as well. So there are little things sort of all over the place that have popped up with Justin Bieber's bad behavior. And it looks like the neighbor's just fed up and wants something to be done.
No one's going to bring in his recycling can if he keeps this up. All right. What was that from upstairs? All right. We are going to move away from this story, Morella. Thanks very much for that. We will continue to watch and listen to hear if there are any charges